Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you game 2 of a best of 3 in the second Asia Pacific tournament between Ku2521 and Yujin. This is the grand final, and today we're going to be seeing Cheux with Ku2521 on the 1st Panzer and Yujin on the 21st Panzer. So I think these are two divisions that both players have played a lot before. We saw Ku2521 in this tournament absolutely demolish Gallo with the 1st Panzer. And played a really good game using the Hurricanes as like direct fire support for his infantry. So that's going to be something to look out for from Ku2521. See if he uses those Hurricanes throughout this game to give himself an advantage. But I think the main matchup is really going to become between the Cromwell 6 and the S307 packs. So we've just seen, actually, just as I say it, Ku2521 placing down a Cromwell 6 at the bottom left. And then we see on the bottom right, we've got two S307 packs from Yujin. And I think whoever micros these better will win out in the open in the early game. We also see Yujin investing in quite a few of these SBW222s. And we've also got Panzergrens coming down as well. Not too much AT otherwise, just the S307 packs. I'm pretty sure if you have two S307 packs on the field at the start of the game, then there's probably no other AT in the division. So that's something to bear in mind. Over on the side of Ku2521, he is going to bring in a Stuart 5. He's also got AT in there. And those AT guns could do pretty well at cleaning up the 222s. Again, they've just got to be microed properly, and he's got to see those 222s coming. So I'd expect to see quite a lot of recon out of the side of Ku, but currently not too much down so far. He's got some on the bottom side. He's got the Jeep in there. And now he's got M5 half tracks with Superzi. Actually, those might be Dragoni. And then he's got rifles following up. Then we have the SBW 222s moving in with their Aufklärers. It's also got command going into the town and the couple units of Panzergrens. So I feel like this top side is going to be heavily swayed by the use of Hurricanes. I feel like Ku2521 is going to invest in those early on. Cromwell 6 going to be engaging the SBW222. Let's see if Yujin can put Ku2521 in his shoes and get internal fragments onto a couple of Cromwell 6s in this game. We do see the AT gun unloading here. 2-star 6-pounder with the veterancy from the Stuart, going to be reloaded and brought closer by the looks of things. Cromwell 6 going to be holding back the 222 for now. In the middle of the map, the S307 pack is going to be moving up here. And that's going to be looking for an engagement onto the M5 half track. Possibly even the Stuart. But he's got to be careful because these S307 packs, they don't have HE. So if this 6-pounder unloads within 1,000 meter range, things could get pretty hairy for Yujin very quickly. Yujin almost finding the shot there at 1,200 meter range though onto the 6-pounder when it's in its universal carrier, and that could have gone very wrong indeed. The 222 has done a lot of damage to the rifles there. Strauzi being forced to fall back. Aufklärer now going to move up with the Panzergrenführer. I think Yujin's trying to keep the veterancy on this S307 pack whilst he moves, so that when he gets line of sight onto this Cromwell, he can get the one-shot kill. Meanwhile, in the middle, it seems as though Ku's kind of dancing around these vehicles that Yujin's pushing forwards. It's going to allow Yujin to have a +1, and I really enjoy watching Ku2521's considered play. It seems he's very good at managing his engagements with his enemies. He doesn't take engagements that won't be in his favour. And I really like that. So instead of like pushing the Stuart 5 to the mid, with the 6-pounder that would probably end up getting killed by the 222 S307 pack combo. He's instead decided to move the Stuart 5 up to the top side, where he can then engage this 222 quite nicely, and also these half tracks, and clean those up, allow his infantry to have a much easier time. So really liking this play from Ku2521. He's given up a little bit of ground in the mid to do so, but he has managed to get a 6-pounder relatively far up here. That might find the shot onto the 222. It did. We also saw the 222 go down on the bottom side of this town. On the bottom side, the 222 is still making ground, but the Cromwell 6 has found a line of sight whilst it's out of line of sight of the S307 pack. This 222 is almost out of ammunition as well. Here comes the Hurricanes. That's exactly what I expected to see. Hurricane Mark IV going to be coming in and pinning down these Panzergrens as they try and advance. It looks like Yujin was trying to maybe surrender these Strelzy, but Yujin was not allowed to do so. 259 now going to be engaging the Stuart 5, 6-pounder. Has a shot onto the U304, finds internal fragments. That's a really nice shot there. Internal fragments pretty much disables a vehicle because it doesn't have any ammunition to fight. Pretty much becomes a useless vehicle. Hurricane coming in again. This time going for the attack onto the Panzer Grenadiers. Looks like this time around Ku2521 going to keep that in the sky. Strelzy in the mid. Going to be hitting these Panzer Grenadier. But with the 6-pounder being killed off here, it looks like this S307 pack is free for now. But yeah, what happened was the 6-pounder unloaded, killed the 222. It looks like it was reloaded, and then the universal carrier got shot by the S307 pack. So Ku ended up losing a 6-pounder, probably unnecessarily. Bildfachwerfer is going to be opening up onto the infantry in this town. Trying to find some surrenders in here, I think Yujin is. But the Stuarts actually found line of sight onto the Fieldfachwerfer. Weapon jam though, 259, fantastic job. Hurricane's also going to be coming in there for the strafing run. That weapon jam is extremely important. This Befehl Panzer 35S is going to be able to defeat that Stuart 5, no problem. Second Hurricane is now on the field. That's going to be almost pinning down the 259. I just really love this Hurricane support play that Ku uses. These Dragoni tried to cross the street, got mowed down by MG42 fire. The 259 did go down though in its aggressive move forwards. Panzer Grenadiers taking a lot of damage from the Hurricanes as they engage. This Hurricane now coming in for a run as well. Just going to try and get rid of these Panzer Grenadiers if he can. Loses line of sight, doesn't do any damage this time around. Both the Hurricanes going to be evac'd for now. 259 now coming in, going to be able to take out the recon for Ku2521 on the bottom side, but there is a 6-pounder in a pretty nice position here, which will stop the advance of the S307 packs for now. I'd really like to see a Panzerhaubitze come in, because that would be the perfect thing to fire position the 6-pounders from range, and that would then allow the S307 packs to take more ground and move forwards with the help of the 20 mils. Like a Panzerhaubitze would be perfect at this point. 259 though, cleaning up infantry in the mid, and we do see a surrender of Ku2521's infantry in the town. Looks like a lot of ground's being made here. These rifles at close range going to get killed off by the looks of things. And we see the M5 half-track also going to get hunted down by the 259. There we go, 259 is aligning its 20 mils. Not going to get the kill. Stuart 5 saves the day. Panzergren's now moving in to that town and taking full control. +1 in favour of Yujin. Is sitting on that +1. 320 points. Definitely making his way towards a good start in this game. And hopefully a good finish as well. U304 going to get the machine gun fire onto the rifles there briefly. Yujin does have to be careful that he doesn't overextend too much with these Panzergrens, because he doesn't have any behind these ones. So if these Panzergrens die, all he's relying on is the U-304 to hold the town. And Ku can definitely continue the fight here against that U-304. We also see the Befehl Panzer 35 being forced back by the 6-pounder. Seems as though Ku2521 has realised that there isn't too much stopping his infantry from moving forwards. So he's going to be very aggressive with his half-track here and his infantry. 222 on this top side is going to be strafed to death by the Hurricane Mark IVs, because with that nearly being pinned down, the Stuart 5 can come around the corner and get a cheeky kill in there, which would be very nice. Also might end up bumping into these Aufkläder. I think he has. Yes, he has. It's going to remove the recon on the top side. That's not very good for Yujin. On this bottom side, 259 goes down to the 6-pounder. The Panzer IV-C has been brought up. I guess the Panzer IV-C against 6-pounders can also be used to fire position. It doesn't have to be 1,200 meter range units. So maybe that's what the Panzer IV-C is for in the bottom side. Going to try and fire position some 6-pounders down there. Vielfachwerfer, not quite in line of sight of the Stuart 5. Looks like the Stuart 5 is more concerned of taking out the 222. And will do so, pushing things back to 50-50 across the board. Now a lot of these 20mm vehicles have got very low on ammunition. This 259 is actually exceptionally low on 20mm ammunition. The 222 on the bottom side has already run out. Stuart 5 does find line of sight onto the Vielfachwerfer, however, and it's going to be killed off. So Yujin loses that important asset, which will help him deal with infantry in this town. Nice one-shot, one-kill there from the Befehl Panzer 35S, takes out that half-track. 6-pounder now engaging a 222 as it charges forwards. That 222, I don't think it's going to make it very far. Yujin has noticed it's getting attacked. Well, probably should have kept it in the bushes there since it fell out of line of sight, but probably concentrating elsewhere. 257, mortar carrier. Going to be opening up onto where the 6-pounder was previously. We're not really going to be hitting the mark. I have no idea how this 222 is still alive. S307 Pack, though, has found line of sight onto the Cromwell 6. And that could be a nice kill waiting to happen. Panzergrenadier, though, are not in range to give the S307 Pack more veterancy. So this Cromwell 6 does have a chance of winning. The S307 Pack here is open top. So if a shot lands on target from the Cromwell 6, like I said, there's a chance it can kill. So got to be careful with those engagements. 257. Ooh, nice. Kills off the 6-pounder here on the top side. Large push of Panzergrens now coming in from Yujin into the town. That's going to be supported by the half-tracks there, but this Stuart 5 could still present a pretty big problem. Needs to find a way to take that out, because the Panzergrens with their Panzerfaust are unreliable. Not in that they won't hit their target, but they won't be able to get themselves into range very easily without being shot to pieces. So Panzerschreck might come in very handy right now, although I'm not sure that Yujin will have access to Panzerschreck throughout this game, because he spent both of his Phase A cards on the S307 packs, and in Phase B likely chose to put them towards something else. So he's going to have to rely on these Panzer Grenadiers. Maybe then smoke would be a good idea, so that the Panzergrens can advance without being under fire from the M5 half-track and Stuart. Because as you can see here, as soon as the Panzergrens try and advance, they're not only going to get hit in the open, but Yujin or Ku2521 is just going to retreat his forces. And now we see 4 Hurricane Mark IVs coming in to strafe infantry. That is insane. Now I've seen Ku2521 do a lot of work with Hurricane Mark IVs before, but I've never seen him invest in 4 like that before. And my lord, that is crazy. Now it seems that the S307 pack from the mid has come down to the bottom side to join in a 2 versus 1 against the Wolverine that Ku2521 has purchased. He's got an M3 car to just follow it around, provide command. So that's quite nice. That Wolverine has the potential to do quite a lot of damage against these S307 packs. We'll win the morale war for sure. Back to the top side, and Yujin's infantry forced back pretty hard by both the Hurricanes coming in and now this 4.2 inch mortar. 107 millimeters there, 16 HE, 1600 meter range. Actually a really nice unit for Ku to use in order to pin down these Panzer Grenadiers nice and quick. He's also then decided to bring in Saperzi, which will be able to flame enemy infantry squads to death, which aren't already pinned down. I also like the fact that there is a half track with this, though. I'm not sure if this comes in with a half track, but if it doesn't, that's a nice move, getting a half track next to that mortar to pick it up if he needs to. Now 259 was killed off here by the Cheux at 5. U304 dying on the top side. Massive strafing run in the bottom side. We saw a rocket strike come in from a Hurricane Mark 4 as well. So 4 Hurricane Mark 4s with 20 mils and 1 with rockets comes down to onto the advance of the S307 pack. Wolverine was well on target there as it snipes the Panzer IV-C. Absolutely no chance. Pack 43 has been purchased by Yujin, but I'm starting to feel like this air force of Ku2521 is getting out of control. Yujin's going to have to get that Pack 43 pretty close if he wants to find the kill, because it takes its sweet time to turn around. I think the Wolverine's going to, reverse just out of range in time. Now we see the advance of the M5 half track. I'm not sure that's going to get very far. Okay, there we go. Driver wounded. Pretty sure that's dead. On this top side, Saperzi versus Pioneers. Can the Pioneers find the kill? Yes, they can. They left a grenade behind. Lovely present there. Wrapped up for the Saperzi. But with this infantry presence on the top, Ku2521, 54% territory lead. I think these Hurricanes are just putting a lot of pressure onto Yujin. He's wanting to make plays, but they just keep stopping it. Like when he moves forwards, his Panzergrens into line of sight, he just gives Yujin loads of targets for the Hurricanes. And same goes for the bottom side. The S307s tried to move up and then they just get strafed to death. It's just really, really nice out of Ku2521. And it's made Yujin now investing quite a lot of AA. But I don't even think, these 20 mils plus the Flak 36 here are really going to do too much to stop this many Hurricanes. And it seems as though Ku is just satisfied with doing like one runs. Like just one pass runs. This Hurricane is managing to get onto the back of the Focke-Wulf there, and that was a futile attempt. The AA just wasn't enough. There's just too many aircraft at this point. So a Focke-Wulf goes down. 2 Ku2521's Hurricanes. He also managed to pin down these Panzergrens, although that wasn't really going to make too much of a difference to the front line. One thing that is quite nice on this top side is Yujin's managed to cut off these rifles, which were actually gaining quite a lot of ground for Ku. So things going back to only 51% for Ku2521 just now. But here we go. Mortar fire coming in. Takes out the recon on the bottom side of the town. I feel like Yujin's recon placement's been a bit dodgy throughout this game for sure. Because his Aufklärer are getting found too much. Like maybe that Aufklärer should have been more center in this field. And also the Aufklärer that died up here earlier on should have definitely been further up. Just so that they don't accidentally get bumped into like they did. Wolverine here, however, going to take out the Panzer IV. That is a nice kill indeed. Definitely opens up this top side after it previously got cut off by that Panzer IV. Pak 43 is on the way into the town. 259 is moving forwards in the mid, but 6 Pounders waiting to take that out. 6 Pounders just going to roll into the tree line there. If the Dragoni don't get the kill first with the Piat, who am I kidding? Piat's not going to get the kill. It's going to be the 6 Pounder. Okay. Mortar fire still continuing. This time it's going to be landing on the Pak 43 that's been newly brought in by Yujin here. That Pak 43 opening up onto the Dragoni, but going to have to be forced to move away due to the incoming mortar fire. And look at this. Ku2521's completely abandoned this bottom side. He's just bringing everything up to the top side. Did this Wolverine like come all the way down and cut across and come back up to avoid the engagement with the S307 packs? It must have. S307 pack has been lost down here. There was originally 2. There is now only 1. Seems as though things just really aren't going in favour of Yujin at this point. He is bringing in another Pak 43 on the top side. I'm assuming to take care of these Wolverines, but Ku's just being so good with his movement of troops. It's just glorious to watch. Like how his units just in the back line continue to move up and down the map and change positions. It works really well when your opponent is relying on units that aren't very easy to move about, like a Pak 43. So just keeping that Wolverine out of line of sight of the Pak 43 for now. I mean, there is gaps in Cheux, which are kind of hard to deal with sometimes. You can see like the amount of broken line of sight there is. So there might be a cheeky shot found by Yujin through these buildings, but in general, Ku's just been doing a fantastic job of keeping that out of the way, and is now using it to help pin down enemy infantry that's been spotted by his own infantry. Now there has been an advance of Dragoni and the Superzi in the centre here, especially with the death of the 259. That's going to be forcing back the half track here. And Speed Troop, well, I'm assuming they're going to get shot at by this Cromwell 6. Might go down sooner than later. But with the abandonment of this position in the bot side, I feel like Yujin could maybe grab a bit of ground. But it seems as though Yujin feels as though he's fallen too far behind. And after 20 minutes and 57 seconds is going to relinquish the final to Ku2521, who for the second time in a row is going to win the second Asia Pacific tournament. Congratulations to Ku2521. Maintains his crown as the victor of the Asia Pacific tournament, defeating this time Yujin in the final. 1,420 kills to 485 losses. Spectacular victory there. Really utilising the power of the Hurricanes throughout that game. Really, really impressive, honestly. Maybe Yujin wasn't aware of how Ku2521 likes to play the first Panzerner, but it's definitely something we've seen before, taking down Gallo Neal in a game in an earlier round, which actually put Gallo Neal down into the lower bracket very early on. And Gallo Neal I expected to get quite far into this tournament, but Ku just was too much for him early on. Yujin falling down at the last hurdle. He's going to be taking second place in the tournament, so still did very well. Congratulations to Yujin, congratulations to Ku2521 for taking the overall victory. Let's have a look at these kills. So this Stuart 5 was microed really well. It originally came down to the bottom side of the map, then ended up going back up to the top to deal with the 20mm autocannon units, and it certainly did. Took out 259s, took out the 222, found the shot onto the Vielfachwerfer, which was really nice. Stopped Yujin from pinning down his infantry. 6-pounders got those nice shots onto the 222s, cleaned those up nicely in the early game. This 6-pounder found a shot onto the S307 pack in the bottom side, so that's what got the kill there. SDKFZ 259 getting the kill. Wolverine popped to Panzer IV. 4.2-inch mortar kills the Pack 43, and we saw the Hurricane shoot down the Focke-Wulf 190. Wolverine took out the Panzer IV-G on the top side, and 6-pounder kills again on the bottom side. So just across the board, really, it was the 6-pounders that really made a big difference. And as I was stating at the start, I would have really liked to have seen the Panzerhaubitze for Yujin, or even using the Panzer IV-C to fire position with its 9HE main gun onto those 6-pounders to allow Yujin to make ground in the early game, because I felt like he needed to, as in Phase B, the 1st Panzer actually gets pretty obnoxious to deal with, especially as the 21st Panzer. And like, if you're relying on Panzer IV-Gs, you can definitely take a lot of damage from Wolverines for starters, but also things like Shermans. Like Shermans can come in and do quite a lot of damage. So yeah, interesting stuff for sure. I really like these games. This final was really good. Ku2521 showing us completely different style of play than we really see before. I love his sort of conservative style. He doesn't mind losing a +1 early on, because he knows he can tactically outplay his opponent later on, and it's just shown in like every game that I've cast of him so far. So yeah, congratulations to Ku2521 overall in this tournament, is the champion. So there you have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the second Asia Pacific tournament. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.